All right, if you haven't seen this yet, then you won't want to miss it. If you're a fan of Stranger Things or not, the season 4 trailer is pretty epic and it's got a ton going on. I don't even know really where to start first. Brandon, you started right off on talking about how awesome just the music was for this thing.
Yeah, that remix or cover, I guess remix because it is the original version, just kind of twisted around of Separate Ways by Journey was the thing that like first caught my attention. And I'm like, whoa, because it kind of like fades in a little bit. And I'm like, is that Separate Ways? And then you know, Steve Perry starts singing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it is.
Yeah, I honestly didn't think they could make that song quite that epic, but they did a really good job with it.
I know I mean, it's pretty epic to begin with in
Yeah.
all the wrong ways.
Well, this is kind of an interesting trailer. First of all, it's like 3 minutes long, so they cover a ton of stuff. And the previous trailer introduced a character in a family, the Victor Creel family, which
Hmm.
was really unusual. And I had no idea what direction they were taking it in. So it's kind of nice to get this familiarity with the characters and everything. But we left off with Elle not having her powers. You've got Hopper in Russia. You've got Elle and some of the other people out in California. You've got people still in Hawkins. And as we've said, it's really had a horror element building up through each season. And this fourth season looks like it's just going to keep climbing because now there's basically a haunted house.
Yeah, and I honestly forgot that Elle lost her powers until I rewatched.
Yeah.
I'm
And
like, oh
it's
yeah, she does lose them. Like, I wonder how they're gonna play in with that in the next season.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting because at first, I mean, I thought it was just kind of like a temporary thing, like, oh, the big boss battle at the end, she doesn't have her powers, but she gets them back. But they're still playing off of that. So who knows where it goes. The weird thing that I want to make sure that we touch on before we kind of conclude this is the emphasis of the clock and the
Yeah,
Creel house. I don't get it. And I'm a little weirded out by it because I don't really know where they're going with it. Like, I trust them, but and so I'm not thinking that anything's going to be bad, but I hope they don't lose us along the way because there has been talk about potentially time travel
oh man.
because of going back to Victor Creel, and I don't even know what they said it was, like the 60s or something. So it's just like, what's that gonna do? Then there's the crazy evil villain character at the end with like tentacles or all these uh vines coming off of him. Is that Victor Creel? I don't tend to think so, but I don't know. There's going to be more answers. Well, hopefully there's going to be more answers to kind of the relation between our world and the upside down. But
Yeah, a little of what I read, um, the character with the tentacles and stuff is apparently a character that's from Dungeons and Dragons. Because if you think about the previous seasons, like the Demogorgon and all those were also Dungeons and Dragons like
yeah,
characters.
okay, so they're
So they're
taking a
continuing on with that.
okay.
As far as the clock, I'm not quite sure. Maybe symbolic of like time is up. You know, their time's coming to an end.
Yeah, there's
I don't know
some
if
kind
that
of
had something to
emphasis.
do with it.
Yeah, there's some kind of emphasis on it. So some people are talking about time travel. Some people are talking about the clock itself being some kind of connection between the upside down, which seems very strange to me because there has been no literal object
Hmm.
that's been connected between the two. So all of a sudden now seems to be kind of a weird time in the fourth season to be like, surprise.
Right.
And also the emphasis on the Creel house is just like, why after 4 seasons is this just happening? So I don't know if it's going to be another one of those things where like because of something that happened with the gate it triggered something different, but a lot to build on and a lot to get you excited for season 4.
Yeah, definitely a lot of things to be answered. Um, and I kind of like that they didn't show too much. And Stranger Things has been really good at that. Like they'll
Mm-hmm.
have these mysterious trailers where you're like, oh, I wonder what that's supposed to be, but it doesn't give away any of the story really.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
for
then
sure.
that can happen a lot sometimes where they give away too much or give you all the money shots that are going to happen.
I'm excited. It's gonna be crazy. It's here next month, actually, just like a little over a month away. So can't get here soon enough.
Yeah, impatiently waiting for what, like 3 years now? At
Seems
least
like
it
it.
feels like. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, we'll be ready for it. I don't think they're going to be dropping any other teaser stuff before then, but who knows? We'll be on top of it. And until that comes out, be kind and rewind.